All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We got 30 minutes. Don't you know we have 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Let's get it on and popping. Let's get it on and popping. Excuse me. Let's get it on and popping, guys. We're going to talk about some high impact skills that you're going to need. High impact skills that you're going to need in the workforce. I think it's about time to have some more serious discussions about what you need to be focusing on versus what is maybe noise. What I'm seeing from a lot of clients is you guys are getting a lot of advice, but you're not really getting anything actionable. And I think that's important because if you're not getting anything actionable, then you're jogging in place essentially. A lot of you are binging on content and binging on worksheets and all sorts of ebooks or what have you, but you're not getting anything actionable. So I'm going to give you some things to think on and munch on today. And we only have 30 minutes because I am getting ready to start my monthly series. So in about 30 minutes, I got to start with the ladies. So let's dive in. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So our topic for today are six-figure skills. Now, the reason why I am not leading with the concept of like six figures, I'm going to explain. Because six figures caps your earnings. And a lot of you maybe are chasing money, but you're not chasing impact. So you're starting out saying, I want to make six figures. I want to make 100K. Like 100K is not a lot of money. In today's economy, with the way inflation is set up, $100,000 is not that much money. So I don't want you guys to focus so much on like, oh, I need to make $100,000 a year. I need to just get to the point where I can bring in this money. 100K is nothing. We need you guys to not cap your earnings, and we need to focus on what is actually going to drive impact, because revenue is tied to that. Revenue is directly tied to your impact. The bigger the problem, more revenue is attached to that, bigger impact. Are you following? So let's talk about that. There are certain kinds of skills that you're probably going to need in order to drive revenue, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your, professional situation. So if you're in corporate, right, there are certain kinds of skills that you're going to need in order to get ahead. And we're going to talk about what those skills are. So put a 1 in the chat if you are in corporate, or put a 2 in the chat if you are a full-time entrepreneur. Put a 1 in the chat if you are in corporate, or put a 2 if you're an entrepreneur. A lot of you, and I'm referring to my notes because I took a lot of notes on this specific topic, but if you are focused, and I mean laser focused on revenue and specific gains in the coming fiscal year. If you're like me, you're already plotting what you're going to do for fiscal year 26. You're already planning, looking at budgets, trying to figure out what steps I need to take next year to hit goal. This live is for you. Let's just say, for example, a lot of you have like $2,000 that you're looking to invest, and you're trying to figure out where to put that money to see the strongest ROI. So if you're, in corporate, you allocate maybe $2,000 every fiscal year for your own advancement, for your own learning and development. So you have $2,000 you're working with. Maybe in your business, you have $2,000 for continuous learning and development, to get new skills, to get new certifications, whatever that may be. How do you spend that? How do you spend that to get maximum ROI? Some of you think, oh, this is a time to buy a course. This is a time to invest in a bunch of certifications because you're looking to level up. So for some of you, that might mean you might want to do a career pivot. Some of you are climbing the corporate ladder. It depends on your situation, right? But ideally, most of the people that I'm talking to, they're incredibly ambitious people. They're looking to grow. They're looking to scale their business. They're looking to climb the corporate ladder, but they're not really sure what's holding them back. And so you have this discretionary income and you're like, okay, I need to put this somewhere. What do I do with this? I'm going to tell you what skills are worth investing time in and what skills is a lot of hype, but there's no actual impact. So here's what I would state, right? You need to look at what the market is asking for. As an AI futurist and career designer, I'm really interested in looking at how the market is responding to certain kinds of people. And so the more consultations I do, the more conversations I'm having with executives, it's becoming really clear to me that the market is demanding results. They're demanding impact. And some of you are capped in your earnings, you're capped in your revenue because you're not thinking about what's driving impact. You're thinking about what's flashy. You know, even on social media, I see this all the time. Some of you think that you have to be like super elegant and like, oh, you have to have the setup. You have to flaunt your wealth. You're trying to show that you live the lifestyle, right? How many of y'all have seen that? You see people trying to flaunt a certain lifestyle. You're seeing people trying to showcase that this is who I am. But things are changing. And the shift is so subtle that you're going to miss it. The shift is real subtle. People are interested in who can be it. Don't tell me, show me. And there's some things that money can't buy. Hello. The new hierarchy is not what you can buy. Because what we found during the pandemic is that some people had luxury bags. Like they had, let's say they went to Gucci. They went to the Gucci store and they had a bag with Gucci on it. And they're like flaunting on social media. Oh, look, I'm so successful. I'm so rich. Look at the bags of all these designers that I have. But they were buying that on eBay to show that they lived something that they really didn't live. So society is starting to shift in a different direction. It's just as capitalistic as it always was. But the markers of true wealth is unspoken. The markers of true wealth is not spoken. It's not what you have on. It's your impact. Who can you influence and who can you impact? So before we break down the different skills, I need y'all to understand that concept. You can't wear. There's nothing that you could put on to necessarily convince people that you are who you say you are. We're going to look at stuff that money cannot buy. And I want y'all to understand this. If you have not identified a problem, one, you don't need to identify a bunch of different problems. One problem, just one. And then figure out the dollar amount attached to that. The bigger the problem, the more complex the problem, the more money that people are going to spend trying to solve it. That's what's going to create impact. And for most of y'all in corporate and in your business, you are capped in your earnings. You're thinking about the money. You're thinking about, ooh, okay, I need to make $500K a year. Ooh, The money isn't the problem. It's the problem itself. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? What is so complex that you're gonna spend millions trying to solve it? That's where the money is. But you're focused on money. You're not chasing impact. Follow me. If you are chasing money, you're going to miss it. You got to chase impact. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? And some of you need to go back to the drawing board because you don't understand people who have really expensive problems. So let's start there. Maybe you actually don't know what very wealthy people struggle with because you think they have it all. And they don't. Somebody liked this lady's live. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. Do you own your own business? Yes. Yes, I do. So before we can break down the skills, I need y'all to understand the foundation. The foundation is most of you are chasing money. You're chasing money. It gives desperate. So part of the reason why I shifted in my content and I shifted my perspective because I got around people who already had money. Clock it. When you reframe and change your environment where people have the money to invest, you start to see it differently. I'm not sitting here talking about, here's how you can make six figures. Here's how you can make six figures. Because it puts you in a certain energy. When you're constantly chasing, you're not creating. You're not innovating when you're chasing. You're not innovating when you're desperate and you're just running. Oh, I got to make 100K. Oh, I got to make 500K. Oh, I got to get this job. Okay. But you're so busy chasing, you're not making impact. You're so busy chasing, you're not creating. You're not innovating. When you're in that energy, what it causes you to do is run in place. No movement, no momentum, a bunch of hype. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? Before I can even break down the skills, I want to get to the core of the issue, which is that a lot of y'all don't have no impact. Now, I'm a career coach. I have chosen in this time in my life, the most impact I can make is coaching people to have better executive presence. The best impact I can make at this point in my career is saying, hey guys, here's how we can all upskill. Here's how we can leverage AI and upskill while there's still time. Because I know 5 years from now, this is not going to be a relevant topic. The most impact I can make right now is to tell y'all upskill using AI, leverage the tools, right? Get better at communication. Next year, we're moving on. Because you want to know why? You have to innovate. Y'all got maybe 12 months to get in those books, get in a live stream, get in a YouTube course, whatever you have to do to learn AI and implement it in your business. Restructure your business, actually, not even just implement it in your business, restructure your business model around AI, or you're going to be left behind because the technology is moving that fast. So right now, the most impact I can make is just to tell you, hey, here's how I'm upskilling. Here's how to level up. Here's how to get with what the market is asking for. And guess what? Because it's a problem that people are desperate to solve, because they don't know how AI is going to impact their career, they're flooding my inbox. They're flooding my business because they're like, nobody's addressing this. All of the career coaches is telling me how to get a six-figure job. But what they're not doing is telling you how to adapt, how to flex, how to bob and weave, how to upskill. They're not telling you that. So as a result, y'all paying for a resume writer when, baby, that resume ain't gonna hold water in 12 months because everything is changing so quickly. But there's basic fundamentals that you can understand to adapt. And that's what I'm teaching. I'm preparing y'all for a workforce that's global to compete against people who are already deeply invested in AI and they're integrating it into their curriculum. Other countries are already integrating that into their curriculum. Their kids are learning the stuff that you just figured out. You didn't even know the terminology. You Googling it, and there's kids being taught it right now in kindergarten. That's what the global competition is doing. That's where they're headed. So we got to get on the same page about what's required in this moment so that we can do a little catch up while we can catch up. Does that make sense? So yeah, what I am really describing to y'all is more so, before we can break down the skills, understand the foundation. The framework has to be chase impact, not money. Because if you chasing money, you ain't ever gonna make no money. What do you think is the next thing in 5 years? I don't know. I have no idea what the world is going to look like in 5 years. I can make predictions because of research, because of what the ethicists are saying, but nobody knows. That's the point. There are certain skills that are transferable, right? There are certain skills that are transferable. So you're going to need certain kinds of skills to adapt. But because the tech is adapting so quickly, it's like, strap in. Strap in. But a lot of career influencers are not in the field. They're at best recruiters. They can't tell you what's in. I'm telling you because I'm in the trenches right now, not just consulting with clients. I still have a job. I didn't get forced out of a job because I could adapt. So I'm telling you, everything that I teach my clients, I have to do. I'm just as invested as you are. I have a business. I'm just as invested as you are in figuring this stuff out. We got to build the bridge as we walk across it. And to be told, we have no idea where this is going to lead. We have theories, but we have no idea. So the best that we can do is develop certain skills, become more entrepreneurial in our thinking. And so, like I said, the foundation of this before we move on, because we got to move on. I only got 20 more minutes. Chase impact, not money. If you're chasing money, you're not going to make none. Be impactful. What the market is asking for in corporate and like in the business world, chase impact. What's the most impact? What problems are so expensive that everybody's trying to solve? And spend your career solving it and be willing to adapt as business conditions change. Does that make sense? And so, yeah, I'm a career design. I call myself a career designer, but really I'm a career coach. But that's what I teach my clients. These are basic business fundamentals. If you're going to succeed in business, whether you are in corporate or whether you are an entrepreneur, I have a foot in both worlds. So I'm just telling you what the conversations are behind the scenes. What am I talking? People who have more than me, what are they talking about? This is what we're talking about. What's happening in a year? I think in the next 12 months, this is my prediction. There's no way to know for sure, right? But my prediction is going to be probably that I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. I think it's going to get harder to get jobs. Number one, I think this trend will sustain. I think there's going to be less corporate positions available to apply to. Most of you are making that about AI, and that's not the case right now. Most people are not displaced because of AI. It's due to regulatory issues and economic indicators. So it's going to get really bad for a lot of people. We're going to see the unemployment rate increase. I don't know. I know the Fed cut the interest rates by like 0.5% or something. So they didn't do strong cuts, which I don't know if that's going to hold long term. But what I do know is that we need to be buckling in for the long haul, which means get tight, keep it tight. So cut out unnecessary spending. That's why I'm telling y'all not to chase money, chase impact, because you need to get scrappy. Do more with less. If you want to know what the market is asking for, companies are asking for y'all to do more with less. So if you are currently employed, you need to have this a certain kind of messaging, yeah? And the messaging that corporations want to hear when they are looking to hire is that you are scrappy and entrepreneurial. You are willing to do more with less. And that's gonna resonate because they know that they're cutting corners. They know that they're kind of like trying to do more with the people that they have. And so they've slowed on hiring. So if you want to know what's going to happen in a year, that's going to sustain. That's going to continue. If you are in business, do more with less. And then if anything, this could be a great time to be a business owner because the technology is coming out for y'all to execute at a higher level with the tech available. But you have to be focused on execution. Another live stream for another day. So yeah, here's some high ROI skills, topics that you need to double click on. Look into this, okay? I'm going to rattle through it. I'm going to hit it. AI literacy is number one. My platform heavily pushes AI literacy for that purpose because y'all need to catch up while you can catch up. because there will be a point, because the growth is exponential, that if you have not even learned how to build a large language learning model, you're going to be forced out the workforce. I'm not selling a course. I don't even sell courses. I think courses are an antiquated business model. I'm only addressing that because I think it should be said. I don't believe in selling courses, actually. FYI. I'm a consultant, so I offer personalized services, not a course. Most of y'all don't complete courses anyway, by the way. That's why they're not effective. They're not transformative experiences. Most people don't finish the courses that they buy. Fun fact. So no, I don't offer them. Just wanted to say that, FYI. If you want to talk about business models that don't work, courses are one of them, because people are paying for impact. They're paying for transformation. Courses don't offer transformation, and so people don't want to buy them anymore. That worked in 2020. It's now 2025. Consider that free game. Free business advice. But yeah, AI literacy and prompt engineering. High impact skill. Click the link in my bio. I got a free chat GPT prompt engineering freebie. I have some prompts in there for you to get started learning how to prompt correctly. Again, it is a freebie. It's 100% free. Go get it. Link is in my bio. AI literacy. I also have a custom GPT. You got to join my Patreon for that. Link is in the bio. My custom GPT eats down. People, and I mean experienced professionals, use my custom GPT to score and evaluate their resume. And they get a whole readout on how they can improve. 100% free. I designed that ChatGPT freebie to go along with the custom GPT. They technically work together, right? I give you the prompts to get started. And then the custom GPT is like a conversational AI system that you prompt it and you go back and forth with it to learn more about how it's structured. But I trained that custom GPT on resumes from Ivy League graduates. People who have more privilege than you. So yeah, link in bio, go get it done. Y'all don't have no excuse. Most of my new clients are coming in because they actually used the Chat GPT prompt engineering freebie. It's a freebie. Literally, it's just a bunch of prompts. And they use the custom GPT, and they come to me because they have questions. And they're like, okay, what does this mean? And so we talk through it. So again, the game is changing. I can't work myself out of a job because if people are paying for results, they're paying for impact. There's no reason for me to charge for something that's free. You can get information about how to, change your resume for free. People pay for the strategy. They pay for the implementation. They pay for delivery. And so that's a free business lesson right there, right? I don't see the need to charge for a resume template. It's 2025. There's like a million of them. There's a million of them. Pick one. So yeah, AI literacy and prompt engineering is the standard. It's becoming the standard. Free resources exist, but you got to leverage that. So if you are somebody in corporate, thank you. It behooves you to understand how to prompt correctly. It behooves you to understand that. All right, the next high impact skill, data literacy and analysis. This is the bare minimum, right? This is the bare minimum. Understanding, visualizing, communicating. Understanding, visualizing, and communicating data. Understand the data that you're looking at. Visualize it. Be able to put visualizations together, whatever that is, charts, tables, pivot tables, whatever you got to do, right? Visually display what you're looking at and then communicate. A lot of people can manipulate data, extract data, whatever. Data engineers and data scientists exist. They are needed, by the way, very much needed. However, you have to then communicate your findings. And that's where people get tripped up. So yeah, somebody asked about a data certificate. Why not? It will not hurt you. Excel is still king. Trust and believe. Plenty of people are using Excel. Plenty of companies are still using Excel, baby. You can't get around an Excel macro in 2025. Baby, we still using that. Go ahead. If you don't think you're proficient or advanced in Excel, go ahead and invest the time. It's still you still gonna use Excel. We hadn't gotten away from it yet. But also, Tableau and Power BI. Great investment of your time. You can't get around it. It's 2025. We still own that. So go ahead and get into it. And I say this because, again, like, you got to get the fundamentals down before you start doing the crazier stuff. So as I learn, I will help y'all. I'm learning a lot. In the past year, I've learned a lot. Now, am I advanced? Am I an AI engineer? No, but I've learned a lot. But you can't jump over basic math and statistics to get to like agentic AI and building bots and agents. Like, no, you got to start somewhere. Some people are starting at Gen AI, and you really need to go back to the fundamentals. So that's why I say, hey, like, learn some math, learn some science, basic algebra, okay? Get into the Excel macros, get in there, and then you can progress to more difficulty. But you got to start somewhere. So be honest with yourself about your skills and your ability. Because there are fundamental building blocks that build up in complexity. So yeah, and I have to say it because in American society, when I look at like the literacy rates and like reading comprehension, mathematics, we are soft on that. And I don't think you can effectively deliver without having those things. I'm fully convinced. Like, we can't skip over the fundamentals. We can't. All right. Next high impact skill. I'm looking at my notes. Executive presence and communication. I hinted at it before, but I have to do a double click on this. You need to communicate. For example, I know a lot of people, because this is impactful for business owners, not just people in corporate. A lot of y'all are hearing, how should I say, conversations around digital humans. So the concept of having like an AI representative, I want you to understand in the near term, that is not going to be effective. As somebody who came from a sales background, people want to talk to human beings. They don't want to talk to a bot. They don't want to talk to a chat bot. That's good for quick information, FAQs, but for more complex transactions, large business deals worth millions in revenue, right? Ain't no way I'm talking to a chatbot. Ain't no way. So you need to communicate. You need to sell. Everybody should learn sales. Everybody should learn communication. Everybody should learn marketing. I can't just be somebody who has a business and can't hop on a live stream to promote my services. Are you crazy? Link in bio. Book a call. Right now, if you on this live stream and you're getting this free value, you getting that for free. That does not amount to what you get in my coaching programs. That doesn't amount to the value that you get from a consultation. Link in bio, go get a consultation. Because this is free game. Just saying. So, but my point is, you need to learn how to communicate, how to sell. If you're in corporate, you better sell yourself. Sell your expertise. Unabashedly, unashamedly. You should be able to get in a room with anybody and know within the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, explain what you do. Explain what you're good at. Have a strong personal brand. You should be in a room with anybody. And within 20 seconds, people should be able to know what you do and how you do it. Well, not even the how. I won't say how. They should know who you are and what you do. 20 seconds. Communication. Everybody in here, even if you are a corporate professional, even if you don't have a business, you should be able to hop on a live stream and sell. If you can't do that, you're in a bad way. Because people are constantly looking for their problems to be solved. So you need to get clear on what problems you're solving and communicate that effectively, especially if you're an artist. If you're an artist, you definitely need to know how to sell. You definitely need to know how to articulate your artistic vision so that your audience can understand it. Another conversation for another day. So, executive communication and presence. People who have money, people who have funding, business leaders, they're looking for people who solve problems. And if you solve the right problem, they'll sign on the dotted line. Next high impact skill. AI enhanced project management and automation tools. Workflows. Do you know, I was on AI TikTok the other day. There's like a whole segment of TikTok of people who all they do is build workflows and tell you how to build it for yourself for free. Shout out to those people. I love them because I'm not an expert, but I learn from people who are. Amazing. If you're not on that side of TikTok where all they do is like show you the whole workflow and then you got to build it yourself, right? But they tell you how to do it. Like, you're missing out. You're missing out. And again, like, this stuff is free right now. Some people sell workflows, like they sell their knowledge, and that's fine. I think it's well worth the money. And in fact, I would go so far as to say, like, people who have a strong proficiency in that, they're making a killing right now because so many businesses are trying to integrate AI into their existing workflows or create new ones. And so a lot of small business owners like myself are like, how do I do this? So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much value in that. There's so much value. So yeah, get on that side of TikTok because that's a high impact skill. If you can build workflows, even in your corporation, because I mean, I can't tell y'all what tools you have, but you need to know what your tech stack is at the company that you work at and then figure out how to leverage it. So if you can create efficiencies in your current role using the tech that's already available to you, like, you're golden. You're in there. They're not letting you go. So again, that's a high impact skill on creating efficiencies using the technology. So there's a lot of tools available that integrate with each other. There's always new features coming out, lock in. Okay. And then finally, another high impact skill that I think will be resilient to changes in the job market is AI product and strategy knowledge. I have seen this personally in my business. Like I said, I am a career coach and designer, so I see this all the time. People come into my business simply because they don't actually know how these trends are going to impact their role. They have no idea. They're coming to me asking me like, okay, well, how does AI impact teaching? How does AI impact dentistry? Very specific questions, y'all. And sometimes I can answer. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a client profile in that category. I might have to do some research on that. But it shows me that there's something there. So for anybody on the call, whether you are in a business or whether you're in corporate, the onus is on you to learn how AI is going to impact your role. Some of y'all are going to get phased out organically over time. It's not necessarily this doomsday thing. We're not talking about the singularity where it's going to like make all jobs redundant. I'm not saying that. I think some of y'all think this, But that's not going to happen. It's going to be like a gradual process. Like knowledge work eventually will get phased out, just like consulting will get eventually phased out. But by that point, we'll be on to the next thing, you know? So the onus is on you to really think this through and do the research. And then if you have like capabilities to make this part of your role or part of your specialty, I would recommend it. You know, be a thought leader, be this person leading the charge. So again, these are 5 high impact skills. I'm going to rattle them off and then I got to go. So number 1, AI literacy and prompt engineering. Link in my bio for the prompt engineering freebie. Go get the custom GPT. The link is in my bio. Go for it. There's no excuse to not do it. It's freely available to y'all as a resource. Number 2, data literacy and analysis. It's time to get good at communicating, understanding, and visualizing data, period. Number 3, executive presence and communication. You need to communicate with people who have funding, who have money. Communicate with them, understand their problems, understand what they are looking for, right? Number 4, project management and workflows enabled by AI. And then number 5, product strategy knowledge, leveraging AI. So you need to get really clear on how AI impacts your industry, products and services that are offered within your industry. Again, 5 high impact skills. And like I said at the beginning, stop chasing money, chase impact. Some of you are starting from money and you shouldn't start from there. Start from what problems do I need to solve? What problems can I spend my whole career solving? What problems are so expensive and so painful that people are going to spend whatever they can to solve it? The bigger the problem, the bigger the expense, the bigger the impact, the money will follow. Number 1 was AI literacy and prompt engineering. So again, if you are ready to work together, if you are trying to become more resilient to changes in the job market, especially if you're looking for a career pivot, our 4-month program is 100% worth it. Clients love it. It's a very structured program. And just like you guys are working through the custom GPT and the prompt engineering freebie, the link is in the bio for that. I help you integrate AI into your existing workflow. I coach you through the soft skills, right? The executive presence, the communication. Those 5 skills are integrated into my program fully because it's a necessity at this point. These are fundamental business principles. Whether you own a business or whether you are in corporate, it's a non-negotiable. So follow me on YouTube. Y'all follow me on TikTok, and that's cute. But I promise you, TikTok will be sunsetted very soon. Because, TikTok is going to be sunsetted very soon. So follow me on YouTube and Instagram because I will still be there. But TikTok got to go. It's got to go. So that being said, I have to hop, but I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.